Perfect, perfect. Okay, guys. As you guys come in, welcome to Separation Saturday. We'll get started here in a few minutes. We've got the audio playing in the background. We're just gonna wait for probably like 2, 3 more minutes, have everybody else jump on. Thanks for tuning in live with us, and we will get this call started in a few minutes. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for hopping on live. It's every week it gets better and better. This week we actually Simi is out of he's actually dealing with some family things, family emergency. Hopefully everything's good with her family and all goes well. So we're just send up some prayers for her. In the meantime, today we're going to actually do a specific training. It won't be long. What I wanted to talk about this week was actually the cycle of opportunities. First, go ahead and drop in the comments where you guys are tuning in from. Whether that's live, whether that's on the recording, feel free to comment on YouTube. I know that these will be up on YouTube later. We'll do live audience first, and then we'll have you guys on YouTube at the end. So feel free to shoot where you guys are coming in from. As far as the week goes, this week was a great week. We had Thanksgiving. We had some really cool opportunities to grow this week, separate from the rest of the group. And really fine tune it and determine what the rest of 2024 will look like. And so with that being said, I get the pleasure of seeing a lot of things from a lot of different people in the online space, and just being connected to individuals all throughout social media, the internet world, online business. And I see this theme happen a lot right around this time. People jump ship. People look at shiny opportunities, shiny new things. They forget what they were going for because it looks easier on the other side. And what I can tell you is actually it's just part of the process. It's actually just the cycle of opportunity that people are falling into. And what I want to do is break down what that actually looks like. And so what I'm going to do is actually open up the whiteboard on Zoom. I'm going to show you guys what this actual concept is, because when I saw this, it really makes it simple, and it really makes it able for us to actually stick through the hard times that people don't actually want to stick through. Majority of people just quit. Majority of people start things and then quit when it gets hard. And it's actually really easy to win in 2023. The majority of people don't want to see it through. They want the instant gratification. They want things done fast. They want the success, but they don't want the work. And here I'm going to show you guys how this actually looks and what this sounds like for individuals when you're just in conversation, when you're talking to people, and kind of just what this looks like overall in your life. If you've ever started something and not finished it, this is probably what happened. And I'm learning this new whiteboard thing. So let me see if you guys can see this. I'm gonna start a new whiteboard on Zoom. And just let me know if you guys can see what I'm seeing. Let me know if you guys can see the whiteboard. Pretty sure you can. So I am going to go through what the cycle of opportunities is. And hopefully this gives you guys a good perspective where you are, because what I've learned is when you can identify where you're at, you can keep going, and you can course correct along the way. And the person who course corrects the fastest wins. And yeah, so this is, if you guys are taking notes, which I would, the majority of people, we don't remember things if we're not taking notes. When you actually write something down, and I had a mentor of mine tell me to write things down in blue ink, because it actually is superhuman hacks on learning. So if you got a blue pen, write it down in a blue pen. Don't ask questions, just do it. I promise you, asking questions is not, if you just do what people tell you to do, you shortcut your learning a lot faster. I've learned to just stop asking why and just do the things that my mentors and coaches tell me to do. And I'm like, okay, I would have saved a lot of time if I didn't ask that many questions. So I'm going to start drawing on this thing. So this is what the cycle of opportunities actually looks like. So we're going to start out, and I'm just going to draw it out so that I can explain it to you guys better. This is kind of the curve. We've got phase one is the uninformed optimist. And I'm going to keep this out. Uninformed optimist. This is phase one. This is when you're starting something new and it sounds exciting. It sounds all of the things, because you're just uninformed. You super excited about a new opportunity. For me, when I was younger, it was soccer. I was like uninformed optimist, because I'm like, oh, I just get to play all day. And then you get to phase two, where you're informed pessimist, informed pessimism. And this is what we have as informed pessimism. And this is where now you know the information, you know enough that you're like, wow, this is actually like gonna be some work. Like there's a fine line between fun and what was it? When I was playing soccer, I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. Like college athlete, like this is gonna be awesome. You get all the cool accolades, cool things. And then you realize it's a lot of work. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of showing up when you don't want to. And you realize that the commitment that you made is actually a commitment. And I'm going to draw this little line right here. And this is where majority of people get to this point and they're like, oh crap. You ever hear people saying, I don't know if I made the right decision. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. This is harder than I thought it would be. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. That's kind of where you are in the process. And those are the kind of comments that people are starting to make. And then we have what's called the Valley of Despair. And this is where people get very, very disappointed in the fact that they thought that the thing that they were going to do was going to be easy. Valley of Despair. And I thought spelling was easy. It's not. And so we get to the Valley of Despair, and this is when most people start looking for new opportunities. They get really, really bogged down with the fact that it is actually harder than they said than they thought it would be. And for them, it's not worth the actual work to get the thing that they actually thought they wanted to get. And so we've got these little bullet points. When you're learning something new, I've not actually ever used this whiteboard. I've tested it out just to see if I could figure out the drawings and stuff on it. I'm like, oh, this would be easy. Learn new skill sets. Learn it on the fly. Anyways, let's see. Cool. All right, there we go. Now, let me make this one pretty. And then one more up here. And you guys can go ahead and draw this out on your own notes. Because this graph really does make it make sense. It made sense when I saw this, and I've been through the cycles, and I've been through different things where I'm like, wow, that's actually really helpful when you can identify where you are in the cycle, because it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to go through this process, so you might as well know what it is in order to get through it, because when you get through it, when you actually grow through something, we don't go through things, we grow through things. And when you can grow through the process of actually getting the goal that you actually said you wanted to get, you become a different person. You actually become better, and you actually can go do the things that you said you would do when you said you would do them. So we've got the Valley of Despair, and I'm just going to write out the next one so you guys can see it. That phase, Valley of Despair, is phase 3. Then we have informed optimism. Informed optimism is where now we have enough information and we've seen maybe a little bit of success, maybe not even our own success, maybe the success of other people, and we've gotten our inspiration back. Informed optimism. I can see. I'm doing great. Optimism. Informed optimism. And this right here is a huge win when you can get to informed optimism. This is where people start to see success. This is where people start to come out of what we call the valley of despair, or the middle mile, if you've ever heard of that. These are where the true winners start to come out. And then we have one more phase, which is phase 5. And this is when people get success and fulfillment. And so when we can get to these kind of, nobody gets here without going through something, growing through something. People like to say that success is easy, and in one sense of the matter, success is simple, not easy. Success is simple, but it's not easy. It's the simple things that we have to do day in and day out that actually get us to the goals that we actually want to accomplish. And so as I was going through this, as I was learning this week, majority of people, so this is this right here. I draw this little thing. If you take a step back, look at something that you started in your life that sounded amazing. It sounded like it was going to be the easiest thing on the world. You're like, I'm going to make a killing at this. This is going to be the best thing ever. And then you started to learn more about the industry, to learn more about the subject, to learn more. And you start to realize that there's more to the story than what met your eye at first. And just take a look. Just look at the things that you started in your life. There's plenty of things, guys. I was a perpetual starter and not a finisher. There was maybe 1 or 2 things that I actually finished and saw it through. But I started a lot of projects when I was little. My mom was like, I started so many little projects and I finished them, and not really like, I would just do it to do it, but it would get frustrating, it would get hard, and then I would stop doing it and I would just move on to the next thing. Soccer was one of the things that I finished. Soccer was one of the things that I saw through. Photography was one of the things that I saw through, but it didn't come without the struggle. Like, this is actually the part of the puzzle right here, the valley of despair, going through the crap in order to get to the other side. I got to the other side on these two topics, and these are the 2 things that actually have made me very successful in my life. And it's crazy what's possible when you actually stick it out through the valley of despair. But that brings me to why community is important. Community is the new currency. And as Simi and I always say, like, we have to build strong relationships with people in order to go through the valley of despair. When you're in that, you just want to quit. And I promise you, you don't have people holding you accountable, pulling you to another level, holding you to the standards that you had set before. Well, it might just be too hard for you to do it by yourself. And I promise that's where the majority of people stop. And that's why we've decided that we came together and really want to see more individuals, more people in their 20s and 30s really succeed early on. Because if we can go through the valley of despair together and come out on top, and then actually see it through, guys, our 30s, our 40s, our 50s, our 60s, because our grandkids are going to literally not know what it was like to live the life that we had because of the things that we did in our 20s. And so when it comes to actually finding something, whether it's business, whether it's a hobby, whether it's something that you can actually go make money with, I mean, please to God, go find something that you can make money with the things that you like to do, because ultimately, like, that is our goal is not the money. Our goal is actually to find our purpose, but we need money in order to actually do that. And if we're going to help enough people do enough things, we actually need to go make a lot of money. So let's go figure that stuff out. And that's why we have this community. That's why we came together. That's why we collaborate on a lot of different things and teach you guys a lot of different things, because we want to see you guys level up. And I heard this quote this week, and it really hit home with me, the fact that I want to live a rare life, and I know you guys do too. And in order to live a rare life, we have to do rare things, and we have to be surrounded by rare people. And by definition, rare people do rare things. And I can guarantee you, normal, average people aren't sitting on a Zoom call on a Saturday right after a holiday, just learning to learn because they want to be average. Like, you guys want to be the next level. You guys actually are excited to grow, excited to get to the next level in your life. And I kind of view life as like a video game. Like, we get to, if we learn the skill set, they just stack. And the only thing that you can't ever get a negative return on investment in your own education. It's the one thing that can't be taxed, can't be taken away. You can't, the only way to literally suck at it is if you don't learn and you don't grow. And so you don't learn the lesson. And so this is one of the lessons whenever you're starting something new, whenever you're starting something that maybe seems like a new option. This is where most people fail. They stop doing the thing that they started doing right at the valley of despair. And then they go in to a new opportunity and they go through the same process again, but they never get to the upside of the curve. They never get to where the compound interest on our skill sets, compound interest on our goals actually starts to happen. And I can tell you, just from experience, it took me, how many years. I've been doing photography, videography since I was a little kid. The first thing my grandparents ever did was stick a camera in my hand. And I'm just now seeing the fruits of that. And I'm 27. Like, I've been doing this stuff for a long time. And I'm just now getting to this part where I'm like, oh, this can be a real thing. This can be a career. This can actually be something that allows me to do the rest of the things that I want to do. And I find joy in it. If you don't find joy in the thing that you're currently doing, I challenge you to actually look at the things that you're doing and question, hey, what brings me joy? What skill sets, what things? I know for some people it can be playing video games, for some people it can be photography, for sports, for if you're a creative, like it's something creative in there. If it's writing, go write more. But I can tell you, if you never go through the valley of despair and come out of it, you're just selling yourself short, and the rest of the world can't hear your story. The rest of the world doesn't know what you're capable of. And we need more rare people. By definition, rare people do rare things. So they stick it out. Guys, I've flown all over the country to be able to make content on my own dime, on my own, like, I've done some crazy things to make the thing that I actually want to go do something that I can actually do for the rest of my life, fine tune that skill set. And so everything that Cindy and I get to teach you guys is not because we just read about it in the books, because we're actually doing it. And whether you're still in that stage of learning constantly, like consuming information, or implementation, whatever you're doing, just go do it for a day. Go do it for 2 days, then 3 days, then 4 days, and track the progress. I'm also learning this year specifically, knowing my numbers, knowing the very specifics, the details, the data, so that we can course correct faster. Because if we have the data, we can course correct so fast. We can give it to a coach. As the best thing I've ever done was paid for coaching, paid for mentors, paid for events, paid for information that I can get faster, paid for books, paid for literally just paid for knowledge, so that I can get the answers, so that I can get the data, so that I can change my processes faster. And so in this whole process, I hope you guys see where you are in your opportunity, whatever your opportunity is. I don't care what it is. Neither one of us do. But whatever you're going to go chase, whatever you're going to go do, just know that you're going to go through this cycle of opportunity, and the people that are rare don't quit when they get to the valley of despair. The rare people don't quit. So when you get to that point, shoot me a message on Instagram, shoot me a message, send me a message on Instagram, stay connected to community, stay plugged in, and ultimately just keep refining your skill set. If somebody would have told me in college that it's not the knowledge, it's the skill set. It's not how many books can you read, it's how much can you apply. I would have applied a lot faster. It took me 3 years to build a brand on Instagram that I could have been building for 6 years in college if somebody would have told me about it. You have to start putting the pieces together, and it takes time, and it takes diligence, and it takes consistency. And I promise you, the day you actually start, the day you actually decide, game over. Nobody can beat you because you're in it for the long game. And so with that being said, I hope you guys had an amazing Separation Saturday call. I hope you guys took some notes. Hope this was helpful. If the whiteboard was helpful for you, let me know. And let me let me know if that was super helpful for you. If you guys need any more detailed drawings of the thing and mine's not great, shoot me a message. I'll send you the picture that I have of the cycle of opportunity. But as I keep learning, as we both keep learning, as we keep growing, just know that I'm here for you. And we're all in this together, because ultimately, like, I just want rare friends that are doing rare things. And by definition, we're going to be surrounded by rare people. And so we need to go do some rare things. And so with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. We have the whole rest of the day to really get things going. And I will talk to you guys with Demi back next week. We'll get the rest of the stuff up on YouTube, and we will see you guys next week. Bye for now.